Guys, fall is here.
Right? It's my favorite season. I'm like a sucker for punishment when it comes to books.
Yeah.
I will just keep forcing myself to get through it, and I'm like, ugh.
Like, I don't even...
Yeah.
Have you even DNF'd a book?
I did read Donovan Finley or I keep calling this book Donovan Finley.
Some people title them as, oh, it's enemies to lovers, right? But then it's also just like, where's the enemies here? You know?
No, 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 no. When it's really
that's the second.
Okay, okay. Okay. Hey Bookworms! It's Mom, aka Sarah.
And Char. And as you guys can tell from the title of this video, we're going to be sharing with you guys our summer wrap-up and our fall TBR.
Which we're both so excited about.
Guys, fall is here.
Right? It's my favorite season, guys. I am just so in love with fall. I love sweater weather, and I love just everything cozy.
It's like tea season.
Pumpkin spice and everything nice.
Yes, it's just wrap up in a blanket with a candle and read.
Yeah,
like,
love it. So we're not gonna spend too much time going on about how cozy fall is, because yeah, I could stay here all day. But Charlotte and I have read a bunch of books over the summer, and we realized we kind of shared a couple here and there in our reading vlogs, but there's a lot of books in between that we missed, I think.
I think
So we're just gonna run quickly through the ones that we've read and just give you like a quick little synopsis, nothing major, and then we're gonna go into our fall reads because we don't want this video to be too long for you guys. And we also have some books that we read together, because
exactly,
if you guys remember, we were kind of doing the summer reading club.
Yes.
And we read a few thrillers in the mix and we absolutely loved it, so we want to share that with you guys as well.
Exactly. So as usual, guys, we're going to alternate between our summer reads and we'll go on from there. Okay.
And also, if you guys are curious about the types of books that we read, I read like a lot of contemporary romance, literary fiction, contemporary fiction, and definitely love thrillers, while Charlotte reads something totally different.
I read just like the YA genre, right?
Yeah.
And it's clean YA, in case you guys are wondering and looking for any like no spice books. And yeah, I love thrillers. Actually, this year I got into thrillers, and I've read quite a few over summer. Quite a few over summer. Really happy about that, actually. And romance, but I like it as like a subplot, something like that, you know, just like.
Yeah.
Where were we going with this? Oh yeah, okay, so.
Anyways, without further ado, we're gonna jump into today's video, and we're gonna begin with you, girl.
Oh, it's me?
Yes, we're gonna begin with you.
Okay, so trying to remember like the first book I read this summer.
You don't have to go in it. I don't think it has to be in order.
I'm gonna go with one of the biggest books that I remember seeing on Book Talk, which was Powerless. I read this during summer, guys. This has been on my TBR for ages, and you guys probably saw this in one of our reading vlogs. I don't think I gave a full review on it, but if you go on Goodreads, you'll see my full review. It was long. It was long.
I don't think you read that in as fast as you thought you were going to either.
No, I read this in like, I know it was less than a week, but it took a couple days.
Yeah.
It took a couple days, because I took a break between our vacation vlogs, if you guys saw that. So there's like a 3-day break where I didn't pick it up at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gave this like a 3.75.
Nice.
You think that's pretty good rating still, but like, go on Goodreads and check out my rating.
Nice. Okay, so I think I've showed you guys this, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. I did read Counterfeit. I think I read this at the beginning of summer, and I really enjoyed the stories by Kristen Chen. It's my first book by her, and basically what it is, there's a bunch of women who create like imitation designer bags. I'm not telling you anything that's not on the back, and they're obviously like counterfeit, so you can only tell where that goes. And honestly, I really enjoyed the story. I didn't know where it was gonna go, but I really loved it. And like I said, we also have our Goodreads links in the description box below if you ever want to check out our reviews, because I try my best to write reviews, and even for the ones that I haven't written yet, if you guys follow us, like, you'll see that I will update them periodically. So yeah, great read. Very good. Okay, next one for me. This one's a series, so after I do these, Mom will just do a couple books of her own. But I read the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, 1, 2, and 3. I'm actually really happy I got these all done in the summer. Like, this one was like the day before summer ended. Yeah.
So like it just made the cut. Honestly, this series was really crazy. Mom could tell you just from how this went out, and from this was from our last reading vlog, from our last video, so you guys will know how this book turned out for me. Let me start from the beginning though. So this is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, the first book. I gave this one a 5-star. It was really, really good. Book 2 is Good Girl, Bad Blood. This one is when the series began to go down a little bit, but I still gave it a 4-star. I still gave it a 4-star, so it still was pretty good. Yeah. And then this one just like fell off a cliff, and I gave it a 2-star.
Do you think you would have preferred it in reverse had it started off slow and progressed?
If it started off slow, I don't know if I would have read it, right?
That's the thing. Like it's so weird. It started off with a bang and ended the way it did, but then who's to say that you would have even read it had it been the opposite way?
Exactly, yeah.
Do you think you would have continued with it had this book been like the number 2? You know,
like
had the number, had it been like a high-low?
I could do that. I could do that. I would have preferred that.
Comment down below if you guys could do that. It's so hard because whenever I feel like I'm dragging my feet, the story's not doing what it's supposed to, I feel discouraged and I just want to like leave it. But then I think I said it in the last video, I'm like a sucker for punishment when it comes to books. I will just keep forcing myself to get through it, and I'm like, ugh.
Like, I don't even, have you even DNF'd a book? I don't know if you've DNF'd a book, because the books that Mom says she's DNF'd, she's still like reading in the background. I'm like, I thought you put that book down. She's like, nope, I'm getting through it.
I DNF it for a long time, and then I can pick it up again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's just a break.
So over to me. I'm going to show you guys 3 since Charlotte showed you 3. One of the next books that I read, and this is not in the order because I'm pretty sure the one below this is the one I read before. I did read Donovan Finley I keep calling this book Donovan Finley. I don't know why, because I've always known Donovan to be like a first name. I've never heard anyone named Finley, but I mean, I should be reading the title of the book. Finley Donovan is killing it. This book was just so humorous, so funny, and just not even what I expected, but kind of at the same time. And I just absolutely loved it. It was super fast paced, and I was done this book in less than 24 hours.
Oh yeah, that's so fast, really, honestly. And the day you finished it, like we all gathered around and you told us about the book.
Yeah, I couldn't resist telling them about this one. And who wrote that? I don't even know how to pronounce this person's name. El Casimano, I think. I've never heard of her, but I really like her book. And I have the second one on my shelf, and I'm definitely going to be getting the third. So another book that I read, which I showed you guys before, was The Paradise Problem, which I did really like. I'm trying to think if it had any slow spots. Yeah, I think I really enjoyed this overall. At first when I started, I was like, but then it really progressed and the storyline was really good. I really enjoyed the characters. I was telling Charlotte, I think I said none of the characters annoyed me in this book.
Yeah, they felt like, more realistic.
The book, it felt realistic, and then like the problems in it felt like they were also dealt with, I felt like in a realistic manner. Don't quote me on that because it has been a minute since I've read this book, but I did really like it.
Mom does do a longer review on that book, so if you want to see the video, then we'll have it linked for you guys if you want to see it.
Exactly, thank you. Okay, so another book that I was pleasantly surprised about was Honey and Spice. I actually read this on my Kindle, and I started listening to the audio because it was available to me on an iCloud library, and then I checked and I saw that the book was available on my Kindle, and I started reading it. I absolutely loved it and fell in love with the book itself. I wanted to get the book while we were on vacation and we visited a bookshop, but I was like really just hung up on getting the cover of the other one because I just love the cover. But then I walked into my local bookstore and they had this copy for $8. Yeah, lo and behold, this is all they had available. They didn't even have the other one that I went in there for, which was like 24 bucks, and this was $8. So I was like, you know what? Adulting will win today. I felt like I couldn't not pick it up for $8. The storyline was actually really, really good. I didn't expect it. It's one of those books that I did read some of the reviews, and some of the reviews kind of threw me off a little bit. So I wasn't sure if I was gonna pick it up because of that reason, but I did, and I'm pleasantly surprised and very, very happy that I did. So yeah.
Also, if you guys can hear our neighbors under construction. No, I'm kidding.
You say our neighbors?
I know. Yeah. We don't know the guy.
No. My husband's outside like repairing his car, so if you hear a sound, like, you know what, it's just been a struggle trying to film this video in here, because I'm always reminding you guys that I'm a mom of 5, so I have little ones in the home as well, and it's harder. So we're kind of working on a space in like a room that we have in the basement that we could actually film in a quiet space. We'll save that story for another day. We'll show you when that time comes.
The next one for me is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, and that's one that I read while on vacation. I think it took the 3 days to read that one. It was really good. I didn't give it a full rating because I feel like it was a very interesting book. It was based more on how someone, I think, with autism thought, like their thought process, right? Because the main character, the boy, he was autistic. It was a really good book though. It was very interesting, and yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I think it's like a classic. It's part of like the top 1,000 books to read or something like that. But it was really good.
Yeah, I remember you liking that one. Okay guys, so another book that I read was 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. I've been hearing nothing but good things about this author. I have about 3 books on my shelf and they've just been kind of sitting there waiting for me to try them. This one in particular, I wanted to read it in June, so I think I read it at the very last day of June. Did I start reading it?
You started like near the end of June?
Yeah, I think I started reading this near the end of June, and at first, the first like 40 pages, I was telling Charlotte, like, I was like, oh, I don't know. And I don't say DNF'd it. I just put it to the side. And I said that I wasn't sure I was going to get through it. And then I gave it another shot. And I was like, oh, okay, it didn't sound that bad. And then I picked it up a 3rd time. And the 3rd time is when the story kind of started for me, because the first portion was kind of giving the backstory of the character. And for some reason, her backstory wasn't giving for me. It didn't connect me. Yeah. But when the actual story started as to where she is now, I really enjoyed that. And this turned out to be like I'd say one of my favorites for the year, even though I did only give it a 4. I'd say I gave it a 4.5 stars. Yeah, I think that's what I gave it on my Goodreads, but really like that book.
Yeah. Okay, so the next book for me is The Mirror Thieves, and this one I actually read for school. So I did my English over the summer, and that was the book I had to read for it, and it was really good. It was actually really good. My older sister read it. I think she liked it, and I gave this one, I think, a 4.5 star. It was really good. It was so good that I jumped right into the second book. But what happens when I jump right into the second book, I don't read the second book. I get like maybe a 1/3 of the way into it, because I'm like, wow, it's so good. I'm still like on the hype from the first book. Yeah. And then I just stop, because I'm like, oh wow, I don't think I want to read this anymore right now. Yeah. Just for some reasons, like, that's just how the brain works right now.
And even though it was good.
Even though it was really good. It's like you just need a break from that world. Yeah. And it really, that's why it's so helpful also to have like a second book that you're reading in tandem. Yeah. But yeah, I haven't finished the second book. First book was very good though. I would highly recommend Mirror Thieves. That
kind of reminds me of the Billionaire romance series. Yeah. And I read book 1, I jumped into book 2, and while they were all good, I took a break from book 3. But just wait for it, just wait, because, you know, I want to wrap up book 3 soon, because I think I heard that was the best one, so yeah. Okay, so just gonna give you a quick little blurb on this. You guys heard me talk about this in the last vlog. I was saying that I did go ahead and finish this book up. It's been sitting on my shelf for a minute now. It's kind of like Archer's Voice. Archer's Voice, I got like 3/4 of the way there. I remember the story like the back of my hand, and I just kind of took a pause for the cause, and I still feel like I want to wrap that one up. So I'm gonna give it the time of the day sometime soon. I did with this one, and I'm glad I finished it, even though the main character made me want to rip my hair out. Like, yeah. Yeah. If you guys don't know about this one, if you're into reading YAs and you are into, is this supposed to be like frenemies, I guess? Frenemies to lovers? Enemies to lovers, because I guess there are enemies all the way up until the end, and it was just kind of, I don't know.
I don't know about Lynn Painter's Enemies to Lovers, because some people title them as, oh, it's enemies to lovers, right? But then it's also just like, where's the enemies here, you know? And it's like, okay, so maybe they were rivals, but they were helping each other. So they weren't exactly enemies. Yeah, they became lovers. And
I think like with this too, it was just like more so like a little banter in the beginning, because they didn't know each other, and it was like, oh my gosh, like back and forth nonsense. And then they ran to each other again and kind of was in each other's space, basically all the time now, and it was like, it was more, I think I don't even understand. Like,
just explain to me what you're doing exactly, because I still don't understand.
just like nothing, it was like really nothing to go on. To me, like an enemy is someone who's done you dirty, and no one's done anything dirty. For the most part, it's just like, I just don't like you because you were annoying. I just don't like, it's just nonsense.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah, so I found her characters to be a little bit annoying because I think they were supposed to be like, I don't remember the age, if it was like 18, is it
like, are they going to college?
Yeah, I think they were supposed to be in college. They drive and everything. I don't remember how old they are, but they're supposed to be old enough where they're not acting the way they were acting in this book, because he was acting all types of strange. But yeah,
the next book I read was The Vindigo, or The Vindigo. Sounds the same, but anyway.
Never heard of that one.
Never heard of one either. It's like a very I want to say small book. Like, it's just one of those books that you don't hear about until you look for it, right? And it was just there in the background. I thought the synopsis sounded really cool. It's like a bunch of teenagers who are chosen to be apprentices for villains.
Okay, yeah.
And like, it's like a small book, you know? You just like read and finish, and you kind of forget about after. I gave it a 3-star because it was still relatively good, right? I just found like a lot of different little plot holes. It was a fun book to read without thinking a whole lot, right?
Okay, yeah.
But there's just a couple of things where it's like, are you sure about that? That doesn't make sense. They're villains, but yeah.
Yeah.
It was still just fun to read, and I read that really quick.
Okay, so we're just gonna go quickly over this. If you guys want to see any kind of review on these last two, check out the last vlog, because I just kind of had them in the reading vlog where I was wrapping up. So I did read Frederick Bachman's Anxious People, and in the last video I kind of went in and talked about it. So you guys want to know what I said, check that video out, which we have linked to this video. But yeah, this one I gave like a 3, but it was really like a 3.5 because, you know, we couldn't really give it like a rating like that. And it does entice me to want to read a little bit more from Frederick Bachman. I do like his writing style, and I kind of like the way he thinks, but there are a few characters in here that I'm like, yeah. So, but it's not, but I'm not judging him because I really want to read Beartown. Then I also talked about reading The Teacher. I don't know why I'm saying that in like such a jovial voice, because while I did enjoy the thrilling part, I wasn't the big fan of the content. You know, it's, for some reason, I feel like I feel about The Teacher the way a lot of people felt about Verity.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this. I was just like, oh, oh. And that's how some people, now like I understand how some people felt. It's not that I even didn't understand the context of Verity either, but yeah, she was just crazy. This person, I'm like, okay, she was just crazy. What was this person? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was The Teacher? Like, he wasn't crazy. Why were you doing this? So that's kind of like where I was at with that. So I read that as those two as well to kind of wrap up summer.
The last one that I read was My Mechanical Romance.
The title is interesting.
The title is interesting, and it's like another like small read that you'd never really hear of. It's, I think, these two people who are on the robotics team. So it's just like a lot of it's just revolving robotics and then building robots, going to those clubs and stuff. And
you liked it. It's not the one that you said you absolutely loved?
No, actually.
Oh, I thought you said you liked it.
I liked it, but then also like some of the characters were like just like annoying.
Which one did you read the last time and you're like, oh, I really love that one?
That one was Broken Crown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My bad. Okay.
That's one of the fall reads that you guys will hear about in our fall wrap up.
Okay.
But this one was like I think a 3.5 star, because it was still relatively good. I liked some of the characters. Some of the characters made bad decisions I don't like. Yeah. And obviously, like in all books, but yeah, it was good.
It was good.
It was good.
Okay. So basically, I'm just going to show you the one that's like the last of my summer reads that I'm still currently wrapping up. I'm not even halfway through. I feel inclined to want to know what's going to happen in this story, but I did pick up Beach Read with the anticipation that it was going to knock me off my socks, because I've heard so many good things, and it just was not giving the way I thought it would. It started off slow. I did like it. because it was telling us what happened, but I could honestly like throw out the key things that I knew and remembered, and I felt like those could have been on like one page. It's like, dude, why was I reading like 60 pages just to learn the backstory before we got on to with the real story? And then the real story kind of starts off, and I know this is going to be romance, they're gonna connect, but so far I hear her having her moments about him, but I'm like, I'm still not feeling the connection. Like, I'm not even seeing it.
Yeah.
You know?
Because, like, not from him at all.
It's just like strange. I just feel like you'd envision it. You could envision it given, like, you're feeling the connection, but I'm not feeling it. So it just kind of had me put this down. I'm not saying I DNF'd it. I'm on page 155. I didn't DNF it, but I just kind of put it away. And I did read literally, like, three books in between this to show you where my head is at. But now I'm at a place where I feel inclined to want to pick it up again, hopefully Hopefully, because I'd like to know what happens in the end, and I'd like to know what the hype is about. Yeah, I want to know.
So basically it started off slow and it's still going slow.
Yeah,
it's slow.
So yeah,
but yeah, I mean, it's really interesting because we all, I guess, interpret books differently. Some people really like that book. Yeah, you know, they're like, oh, like they got it finished in a day, or they just couldn't put it down. Exactly. And for others, it just doesn't hit. You know? Yeah. But
I don't know if I would classify myself as a slow burn. I'm confused. Are you? Would you guys classify yourself as a slow burn? Because it's like dragged and dragged all the way out. I'm like, okay, I'm getting tired. Like, where are we going with this?
Like, I would classify myself as like, I like slow burn, right? Mm-hmm. But it has to be like a slow burn where it's not like, oh, I like him, but then I don't like him. But oh, I do like him. It has to be like, we slowly develop a connection. Like, oh, we're from here to friends maybe, and then, you know, then we get a deeper connection.
I feel like that's what this is trying to do, but it's just giving friends to me, and it's not giving like, I think these two are gonna really connect.
It has to give a glimpse of their future, right?
That's just where it's at for me. Anyways, that's still going, but I also read 2 other books. I read, or no, was it one other book? I read another book. This one was actually an audiobook. I rented that one on Audible, and this one's called Higher Love. That one was really good too. Like, it was a very fast-paced story. It was short. It was during that time when we were looking at like audiobooks. We were like, okay, our reading, we were in a bit of like a reading slump, and we're like, it's going so slow. So when we were talking about books that one can complete in a short amount of time, audiobooks, and that was one of them that I chose. And it was, it was under 4, like I listened to it in under 4 hours, because I think the book in total was like 4 hours, but because of the speed that I was able to listen to it, it just like it was just done from the beginning, and it was really good. I did enjoy the storyline, even though I think there were a couple times when the side characters, no, including the main character, like irked my nerve. Why? Like, if you are so in love with this guy, maybe you shouldn't just don't just react. Communicate. Like, it's like, I hate the miscommunication trope so bad. It is so frustrating. Let me know if I'm the only one, but I find it to be so annoying, because like, all you gotta do is talk. Like, they can't talk, apparently. Why are we just running on miscommunication? Why are we taking planes and running away? Why are we packing our bags and leaving? All because of miscommunication and not just communicating.
It sounds so bad and so irritating, because, you know, it's like, it would be so simple. It's like as simple as like saying, oh, that didn't actually happen. Exactly. Or just, it's not just something. Say something. You know? Yep. And it's like you're just watching everything go down the drain. Yeah. And you can't stop it.
Exactly. So anyways, the next books that we want to talk to you guys about real quick are the books that Charlotte and I read together. We ended up reading The Housemaid is Watching. Is that the first one? Wait a second. No. When it's really
that's the second.
Okay. Okay. Okay, it's been a minute. Your girl turned 40 this year, sometime between now and summer.
40 means your memory's messed up?
Nice try. Memory is sometimes slipping. We ended up reading The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. This was not my first of her. I read Actually, no, together we both read
Never Lie.
Never Lie, and we absolutely loved that. I know, I actually just heard someone did a review on it, and she didn't like it. I was like, oh my gosh, I really liked it. But anyways, we loved it, gave that like 5 stars, and then we both decided to read the series. And yeah, of course we went through the whole series. Her sister, my other daughter, also read it, and we both absolutely loved the series. What did we give? We gave the first one 5 star.
5 star. This one I think was
4,
like a 4 or 5
because
star.
the 4th one started off slow. That was the thing.
That was it.
The first one was like, because we didn't know what to expect, we were just like reading through and anticipating like what's to come and just feeling excited, and it was really good. It just kept us going. However, the second one, the beginning was kind of slow. We're like, what the heck? Like, what is this about? And then it like progressed, and we actually enjoyed it.
The slow beginning though was worth the wait for the end.
Yeah.
So I think the end did kind of make up for it a little bit. I mean, it was still slow, but the ending was really, really good in this.
But I just don't like when it starts off that slow for me. It's just giving like, I'm bored. Like, can't just like
exactly.
I need something else.
It's like decreases the reading experience.
Yeah.
Like the hype is just going down.
The first one we were rushing through. It was like a page turner.
Oh yeah.
And the second one we were kind of like, ah.
Yeah, we're like where are we at in this book again? Oh no, we're still here.
Yeah.
We're still going through. She's doing nothing.
Yeah, right?
That's basically it.
Then there was book 3. Book 3 was kind of controversial, I think, for some people, because they're like, this is a book that didn't need to happen. And while I agree that it wasn't like, it didn't have to be, I did enjoy it because it was like a nice way to wrap up and kind of see the progress of the main character throughout the book.
Yeah. I feel like, you know what, I would have honestly preferred, I know Frida, she does thrillers, that's her thing. But like, you know, just once, maybe just like a small novella on them just living happily. Maybe like 100 pages of them like living that family life, you know, and they're happy and they're not like running away from anything. Nothing dangerous is happening. I just want them to be happy people.
And this one was like, for the longest time we're like, what's happening? What's happening? She's telling like stories from bits and pieces, and it was like pulling on us. We're like, oh, okay, something's gonna happen. What? Okay, nothing. Oh, something's gonna happen over here. Oh, okay. And we were just being tugged in all directions, and it wasn't until like close to the end of the book that we're like, oh.
Did we realize? And
then things started happening. We're like, okay, well, you know, that was good, but what was that all about? Right? Which is, yeah, I mean, she probably stuck by the same strategy, but kind of mixed it up in terms of like the time frame, you know?
Exactly. It just felt very different than even like these first 2 books. I don't think like wasn't as slow in the beginning as this one, but it just kept the same pace throughout until the end.
Very much so.
Not a whole lot happened, I would say.
Also, I think there's more characters in here as well.
Yes.
So that was also like, it threw me off a lot because there's so many different characters that were around that I'm like, oh, okay, and you're just trying to focus on them and you're trying to think like who and what and where and what. Was this the ending of what we thought it would be? Probably not.
Probably
I don't know.
not. No. Did you like the ending, would you say?
I think it was okay. Yeah, I think
I think it was okay. I think it wrapped up the series pretty well.
Pretty well.
You know?
Yeah.
Or at least wrapped up this book pretty well.
Yeah. But now we're gonna quickly, and I say quickly, go through our books for fall.
I'm so excited, y'all. Let's go.
Okay guys, so we're gonna quickly go through our fall reads, and to make it go through faster, I'm just gonna go through mine real quick, and then Charlotte's gonna go through hers. So for mine, I want to begin by saying I've already started reading Apples Never Fall by, I would say, Leanne Moriarty. I think I called her Lane before, but I think it's Leanne. I'm looking at that, I'm like, I think I said that wrong, because I thought it was L-A-I-N-E, but it's L-I-A-N-E.
Yeah.
So I started reading this, I think I'm on chapter 7. I think I'm on chapter 7. I have to go figure out where I'm at, but I am liking this so far. Is
it slow? Maybe?
No, it's interesting. It's going. It's going. not,
It's
you
going.
know, it's going. This one was at random for me. I don't know why I picked it up to say like, I'm gonna read this for fall, but the apples enticed me, you know, fall apples. So grab that one. It's the season, exactly. So I'm not gonna really go through what they're about because that's gonna take way too long, but I've had this one on my shelf for a long time. This is one of the ones that we actually thrifted. This is a thrifted gem right here, and it's a gripping mystery, perfect for fans of Agatha Christie. Oh, I love the rhyme there. Okay, good. It's called An Unwanted Guest. And I've been wanting to read a book by Sherry LaPena for a long time. I have several books by her that I've thrifted, and I thrifted them because I've heard great things, and people who like the same reads that I like have definitely recommended. And then it also features The Couple Next Door on it, which is also one I've heard a lot of great things about. Ta-da! The Couple Next Door, guys. I've heard great things about this book and I'm so excited. Like, I am just, yeah, I don't know what to expect. I'm going into these books blindly, and when I chose them off of my shelf, I just kind of went through and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try this. Like, this is I kind of was gonna use my TBR, but I wanted to kind of just use my eyes first to see the things that jumped out at me, and these are the ones that jumped out at me. I also picked up this one. It's called The Good Sister. I don't fully know the details of this one as well. Everyone has a dark side. So all I know is that maybe one of the sisters have a dark side. And yeah, very excited. Another book that I thrifted. And like, guys, like the books that I've thrifted, all these three that I'm showing you are all ones that were thrifted. These are thrifted finds, and I am so happy about them. Very excited to read those. Another book that I picked up is The Final Offer, because it's just been sitting there. Oh my gosh, this one's a thick read. Okay, it's not, you know what? They're not as thick as I thought they were. Like, it looks thick, and I would want to say it looks like it's going to be 700 pages, but it's not. It's giving...
It's 500?
6, close to 6.
Close to 6.
I'm excited to read this. Like, I'm actually kind of undecisive of which one to start with, which is actually a good thing, because it's saying that I'm really intrigued by the ones that I have to read.
Exactly.
So this is exactly the kind of stuff that will cause me to leave Beach Read behind if it's not going well, because I have so many great reads on my hand that I think are going to be giving. So, you know. The next one that I have is Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney, and I have heard a lot of good things about her. I haven't read one of her books yet, right?
I don't think so.
No, but I do have another one of hers downstairs.
You have, was it Normal People?
Yeah, I have Normal People, and like I said, these are books that I've heard amazing reviews about, and I am excited to read it. It looks like a very small read, so I think, oh, it's 300 pages. Don't quite look like it, but I'm excited to incorporate that in my read for fall. So the next one that I have on my list is The Neighbor Favor. I've had this one, I would say, like since spring, maybe early spring, and I haven't gotten to it yet. It's by Christina Forrest, and I have heard a lot of good things about this book. Love Was Closer Than They Knew. I heard that this is a really good read, and yeah, I'm very intrigued for sure.
The cover is so cute.
It really is, right?
Yeah. There's just something about reading books about books.
Right? Exactly. Because what is she? She's a bookish girl? Yeah, she's a shy, bookish girl.
And then the author that writes the books that she likes is the guy she meets, right?
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
Whoa. Okay, so another one that I have is called The Worst Best Man. I heard that this book was amazing. Okay, I think Tiffany's the one that put me onto this book. Tiffany Lane, I believe her last name is, and she loved this book. And I always tell you guys that I do like to read these interracial romances, because as you can see, mixed kid, black mom, interracial marriage. And it's just it's interesting to read just things that we can relate to. Exactly. And while I read just different, diversified reads, it's always nice when I do embark upon like ones that I can also relate to, that's like specific to me, even though it's just a story. So yeah, I heard this was really, really good. I'm excited about this. Mia Sosa. I've never heard of her until this book. Tiffany mentioned it and I saw it, and I actually took it and put it in my Amazon cart. Yeah. But then you guys surprised me with it for Was it Mother's Day or my birthday?
I think it was your birthday.
For my birthday. So I'm so excited. I'm like very excited that it's a part of this read. And then the last one that I picked up to go with this is called One of Us is Dead. And this is by Geneva Rose. It just sounds really good. It sounds really dramatic. Like it sounds like a reality, like not a reality show, but kind of like that, right?
Yeah, I've heard it's like the Housewives or something.
Yeah,
times it's like Thriller or something. Yeah.
Exactly. It sounds like that. So I'm excited, and there's a bunch of women because it's already listing the women, kind of like the Housewives.
Exactly.
Shannon, Crystal, Olivia, and Jenny from the block. So she's holding a whole scissor behind her back. I'm like, girl, what are you gonna do with that scissor?
That's a good question.
What is she doing? She's already cutting. I don't know what she's cutting. She's cutting us. She's cutting you out. I don't know, but I'm excited. I'm excited. And what is this? How 335? You know, I'm just excited about these reads. I feel like there's a variety of long and short books. Most of them are average length, so yeah. Average reads.
Ooh, okay. So it looks like you got myself a nice assortment. Just the fall vibes. Oh my goodness.
I try to stick with a little bit of, you know, the romance and mix in some thrillers. So I feel like, and probably like half and half down the middle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So one thing with my pile, a lot of the YAs, I feel like already have like those very fall vibes already because they're like fantasy or things like that, right? So jumping into it. I feel like this kind of fit to just start off with what I started in the summer wrap up, and I'm going to be reading Reckless, the second book to Powerless. I got this part of our vacation vlog. If you guys haven't seen that, go watch it. But really excited to read this actually, since the last book ended on a cliffhanger. So we'll see. It's just very, very fall. I don't even know what this book's about. I don't think I've even read the synopsis yet. So it'll be very interesting. Also, there is a 1.5 that I have yet to read. I feel like that should be in this pile. I have it. It's not in this pile. Don't ask me why. I forgot about it. But it's on my shelf over there. So there you go. 1.5 on the back here. Yeah, I'm excited to read this. I think a third book is coming out maybe next year, spring. And yeah, we'll see. Next one for me is A Tempest of Tea.
Oh, I love the cover of that one.
It's tea, y'all. It's tea.
But the cover is exactly when you love tea, and the cover is just so like, I don't even know how to describe it.
Exactly. It's just very, yeah, like whimsical. Not even whimsical. It's like very like whimsy. It's, I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to describe it. Like even like the back.
Even the character is this. I just love the character. She's just Yeah.
Yeah, very striking.
Yeah.
And like the tea, it's like blood. Oh my. So I think you guys saw this one on my summer TBR. I didn't get to read this during summer, but I feel like it's more of a fall book anyway. This is written by Hafsa Faisal, and she also wrote The Sands of Rawia, which is a duology series. It's like my favorite books of all time, honestly. I love those so much. If you guys have not read We Hunt the Flame and We Feed the Stars, you have to go read those because I absolutely love those books. And I'm so excited because I love her writing style. It's just so descriptive and so beautiful. How she creates the setting. Her world building is on another level. So nice. I expect a lot from this book. I'm sure I'm gonna love it. I'm sure I'm gonna love it. It's vampires. It's vampires. Oh. Very exciting.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see. The next one is Heartless by Marissa Meyer, and this one I believe is like the Queen of Hearts and set in Wonderland. She also wrote the whole Lunar Chronicle series. I've heard a lot of good reviews on that. My older sister read the series. I think she liked it a lot. And
did you thrift this book?
No, I actually have this one for my birthday.
Oh yeah, this one of the ones we bought. Okay.
But, I just love this cover as well. This is a romance. I don't know with who. We'll see. We'll see. I'm really excited about this one.
Nice. One thing I'm noticing about the YA covers, they're just so different. Not even YA. Is it just YAs? Or I guess so.
I think it's YA.
Yeah, the covers are just so different. A lot of Charlotte's books are, they're giving like my vibe, like the darker, you know, because like I feel like I wear a lot of black.
Yeah.
I just love that vibe. Your books are just, they're really cute to look at.
Yeah, I think like, you know how they say don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
But people be judging books by their cover because the cover is the first thing that entices you a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the thing with YA books. You really have to like be striking with your cover or very interesting so that it draws people in, and then they go and choose your book. At least I think. So. Like, I'm just spouting stuff too. Okay. The next book I have is A Light Lark. This is written by Alex Astor. I actually found this one on Book Talk. I saw the author, you know, writing her book and stuff, doing book signings, and I thought it sounded really, really interesting. I haven't heard too much on it. I know it's like some sort of fantasy. I think different people have to find a way to cure their curse since they go onto an island and they have to like fight each other. Something like that. This was actually a gift from my sister. Thank you. But I'm super, super excited about this because I just love books with powers and where characters come together and meet each other. Yeah. Yeah. Very, very nice. Very, very fun. Cover is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
I'd say. A heart with flowers. Very interesting. There's a second one as well called Nightbane, and I think the third one recently came out. Oh, and this is one that's also being adapted into some sort of show. Oh. So we'll see. We'll see about that, but very, very interested with this book.
Speaking of which, one of the ones I read this year, actually I think maybe a couple of them, but It Ends With Us. I really wanted to go see it, and I still haven't yet seen it because I did read the book and I did like it, so I was curious to see how it's gonna be. I do like Blake Lively, so I'm kind of curious also to see how she plays the main character. You guys leave a comment down below. Let me know if you actually have seen It Ends With Us and share your thoughts on it down below.
And if you think Mom should go and watch it.
And watch it.
The next one for me is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. And I'm so excited to read this one. I started reading this one maybe at the very beginning of this year, but then I realized that it was part of the Caraval, or it was like adapted from the Caraval series. Okay. And I wanted to read the Caraval series first, but at this point I don't think it matters, and I just really want to read it. It's very fairy tale vibes. I just love fairy tale adaptations. I don't think it's exactly an adaptation, but it gives those kind of vibes as well. Oh, okay. So excited to read this one. Yeah. I don't actually know a whole lot about the plot, but I've heard so many good reviews on this one. Okay, the next one here. This one is Bad Blood, which is by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, the fourth book in the Naturals series.
You're on to the fourth already?
You see the fourth book? No, so I'm currently reading the third book, actually.
I know, but I'm like, you're reading the third now. You're gonna be on to the fourth.
I'm gonna be on to the fourth.
Wow.
Actually, these books are so easy to get through. I started the third last night, and I'm already at page like 200, I'd say. It's really easy to get through them. And so I'm actually not really scared about the thickness of this one. I'm like, okay, this is probably gonna take maybe a couple days to read, maybe 3 days to read. But these books are really easy to get through. I love the characters. It's just very fun.
Nice. It's a series that I definitely would like to read as well, so.
You should read them. I think you would really like them. The next one is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. And we watched the movie for this one.
We have.
The movie. It was really good. We've had this one for
a long time. How old were you when we probably got this?
I was probably like, I don't know, like 6?
6? Probably, because your sister is older than you, so when we got it, it was for...
We got it when like it first came out, right? It came out like 2011.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone actually read it because we ended up watching the movie first, and then the story is like very well known. So it's been a while. I think it's like a perfect time because it's like a refresher.
Exactly, right? I feel like this book just gives the very eerie vibes almost. Like eerie fall vibes. Yeah. Not even just like, oh, like corn, like it's just fall, it's cozy, it's warm. It's like, oh wow, there's just like mystery, thriller in a sense, because I know that there are like monsters in here. But very excited to read this one. Also, I love the feel of this book, honestly. It feels like the pages are weighted or something. Like, feel it.
Oh wow.
Like, it's like very feel condensed. Like a regular
because the pages are not...
The pages are like a little thicker.
Oh, and I like that actually. They have pictures in them.
Yeah.
Oh wow. That's so cool.
Really excited to read this one. the last one is also another one that we've had for quite a while. It was from Mom to me. Right. And it's The Night Circus. This is actually one that we want to read together, so yeah, maybe you can sneak this into your fall pile.
I bought this book from like I want to say like 8 years ago. Yeah, something along the lines, if not longer. Oh,
you've had this for a while. Like I remember just like looking on your shelf and seeing this. And so this is what I meant by like this year I really kind of put my best foot forward when it came to reading and just trying to invest the time and make the time, whereas in before I was dabbling in reading here and there because I just kind of felt like that's the time that I was allotted, and not realizing that if I wanted to go for reading I just kind of had to carve that time out for myself and make it happen. So I had gotten this book. I can't tell you the one I got with it. It was so long ago, but I didn't end up reading this one, and I put all these other ones in front of it. So Cheryl and I said we would tandem read this, but I haven't gotten myself a copy yet, though we've seen it like 10 times in the thrift shops. So this one is not thrifted. I did buy this one brand new by the indigo sticker that you'll see on there, but I have seen it in the thrift shops many a time. So if you're interested and ever looking for some of these cool books, guys, definitely go thrift shopping. Check out the thrift shops because that's where you could possibly find some of these things. Like this one, like I said, I've seen how many times? Like we've seen this one. I can't even say
uncountable.
I'm honestly really excited to read this one. I can't remember exactly what it's about, but I think it's 2 rival circus performers, and then they have to work together to do something.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna read the synopsis right now. But I just remember it sounding really interesting, and really excited to read this one. Again, if you can carve out some space in your fall TBR and you want Tana to read this one, I know, we'll see, because we also have a whole bunch of books that we want to read together already, stacking up, so
I agree. Yeah. One other one that I actually wouldn't mind throwing on my TBR is one that I've started, and it was Assistant to the Villain. Yeah. I started that one. It would be nice to kind of finish it because I do think as I was in that one, it was like fallish. Yeah, I feel like that would be a great one to finish. It's just that for me, whenever I have ones that I started that I have intentions to finish, they kind of feel like they're just like hanging over my head. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, I kind of want to wrap this up, and I always want to wrap up loose ends before new beginnings. Yes, but that may or may not happen, and that's okay. I said
we'll see. Exactly. So, I totally understand. It's like when you're reading multiple books at the same time. When you finish one of the books, you're like, oh, should I start a new book or should I just go back to the book that I'm already reading? The other one. Yeah. And then you're like, no, I'll start a new one.
Yeah, right? I can't, I feel like I don't like to do that because then I don't want to stretch myself thin and have like 10 that I've started and that aren't being finished. And then the stories start to become like almost like convoluted. They start intertwining, and you forget things. You forget. I don't know if convoluted was the right word, but it's just like it's like a mesh of different stories in your brain, and every time you go to read one, it's like they're compartmentalized. You have to, you have to like remember the details for this particular book and that. And I'm sure our brains are capable of doing it, but it's just doing too much. It's too much for me. No judgment for whoever does it. But guys, let us know if you're reading any of the books that Charlotte or myself have chosen for our fall reads. Let us know what you guys thought of the books that we read in the summer. Have you read any of them? I'm curious to know.
Exactly.
And if you've read any of them, just share our thoughts on what you thought of them. I'm curious to know if we had like the same
thoughts or opinions on all the choices that we did.
Exactly. Yeah. Also, guys, another thing you can do is share with us like your most excited fall read. Even just like one book out of all the books you plan on reading this fall. Share it with us, write it down in the comment section, because that's also a nice way to be able to learn about books from you guys. We're sharing books, but you're also sharing books, and I love that because that's how we also end up putting other books on our TBR, because I learn about a lot of interesting books from you guys, which is crazy. I'm like, I've never even heard of that one, or I've never even seen that one ever. And you guys are sharing like your experience and your love for those books. So I really enjoy that.
So I just like love our community because like we support each other and just it's just amazing how we can come together and just talk about our favorite books and just what we love. Honestly, it's great.
Yeah. So that is it for our video. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content, and
we'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.
Oh, I'm gonna drop them.
Okay, perfect.
I'm gonna go through these books real fast.
Kids,
I love you.
Aww.
I love you. Because my bookmark is not even in there the way
snap.
it's supposed to be.
Bookmark gone.
Yeah.